Transcripts and recordings of the podcast may not be used for any purpose without the direct written permission of the podcast owner. Welcome to LITE It Up, a podcast about resilient women balancing motherhood, their careers, personal lives, and all of the challenges that come along with being a superwoman. Each week, you'll be motivated to take action, to lead, inspire, transform, and empower. Now, here's your host, Dr. Aginah Musherah. Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of LITE It Up. I am your host, Dr. Aginah Musherah. I am so excited about today's episode because we are shining a light on something truly meaningful, National Scholarship Month. November is National Scholarship Month, sponsored by the National Scholarship Providers Association. It's a time dedicated to raising awareness about scholarships and recognizing organizations, institutions, and community partners who help students not only get to college, but succeed through college. This month was established in 1998 to encourage more support, more awareness, and more opportunities so every student can pursue an education without financial barriers standing in their way. And if you know me, you know this topic hits home. Because if you've followed my journey online or in real life, then you already know I am a very proud mom. This year, I am blessed to say that all three of my children attend the number one public HBCU in the country, the illustrious North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. And they are all out of state students. So you can imagine the price tag of being an out of state student. My twins are seniors. They're preparing to walk across the graduation stage in May 2026. And my youngest just kicked off her freshman year this summer. And yes, I have celebrated every scholarship, every award, every blessing that has helped make their dreams possible. Now, when I share those moments, I do it to inspire families, to help others, and to show that scholarships are attainable when there's strategy, intention, and support behind the effort. Of course, every time I share good news, people ask me two questions. The first question is, do you apply for the scholarships for your children? And I'm going to tell you, the answer is no. I don't complete the application. I don't write their essays. That's their job. But here's what I do. I search, I research, I share opportunities, I keep them on track, I help them stay organized. And in our home, applying for scholarships is not optional. It is absolutely not optional. It's part of our college strategy. The second question I get is, can you help me find scholarships for my child? And the answer is yes. I can absolutely help find scholarships for your child or help you find scholarships for your child. Supporting families on this journey is something I value deeply. Um, in fact, later this month, I'll be bringing on a guest who leads one of the scholarship communities I'm a part of. So make sure you stay tuned for that conversation that's coming up later this month. But let me tell you why I'm passionate about this and why I push scholarships so hard. Student loan debt is not just a number, it's a burden. It's a burden that follows you through life, and I know that firsthand. When I went to college over 32 years ago, there were no federal borrowing limits. If they offered me student loan dollars, I accepted them every year, including summers. And then I continued on to graduate school, to law school, and later I earned a doctorate degree. I deferred loans, interest accumulated, life happened, marriage, motherhood, divorce, and each pause meant more interest. By the time I finished, I owed almost $300,000 in student loans. $300,000. And I can promise you that monthly payment felt like a mortgage, but without the house. It wasn't until I qualified for public service loan forgiveness combined with the action taken under President Biden's administration that my loans were forgiven. And I am grateful beyond words for that blessing. I truly, truly am. Because without that program, I would still be paying today. And that experience is why I vowed my children will not begin their lives buried in debt. So, in our family, scholarships aren't a suggestion, they are a requirement. Now, let me keep it real. This journey isn't glamorous. It really isn't simple. Um, and it certainly isn't instant gratification. What folks see when I post that my daughters or my son have earned a scholarship, they see the end result. So, of course, they see the excitement and the glamour of that. But there was a lot of work that went into place for my children to secure the scholarships that they have. For every scholarship my children receive, they receive 5 to 10 no's. 5 to 10 no's. So that means they are constantly applying to scholarships, more than just one. Rejection is part of the process. Persistence is part of the process. And consistency is everything. And the work does not stop after freshman year. We apply every semester, every year without fail. In fact, I sent scholarships to Kamal and Khalees just this past week. Sent them the scholarships, gave them the deadline dates, and said, hey, let's get the essays going. So it is constant work to apply for scholarships. And I will say this, while our students are brilliant and capable, they can't walk this journey alone. They need support, they need structure, they need guidance. We, the parents, caregivers, champions, aunties, uncles, mentors, we are the accountability system. We are the reminder. We are the follow up crew. We are the village. I have had some parents say that they don't have time to look for scholarships for their children and that it's up to their children to find the scholarships. The end result is you're going to be paying out of pocket for your child to go to college. Therefore, you have to be a part of the accountability system to make sure that your children are securing those scholarships, that they are doing the work. It takes a collective effort. This is not something that your child can do on their own. So, I want to give some actionable steps to help you start, organize, or elevate your scholarship journey. The first step is to start with major scholarship platforms. So, for my children, because they attend a historically Black college, we use UNCF, which is the United Negro College Fund, as well as the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. We also use Scholarship America. So for each one of those search engines, my children have set up a profile which consists of their academic information, including their major, their GPA, and then scholarships are filtered based upon their major, their GPA, sometimes even based geographically where they are located. Also, the second tip is to look locally. Divine Nine fraternities and sororities, local nonprofits, alumni chapters, community organizations are all great places to start your scholarship journey. The third point, which is very, very important because I know a lot of times parents will encourage their children to apply for those big dollar scholarships, the ones that are like $10,000, $20,000. Excuse me. A lot of times, parents will suggest that their children should only apply for the larger dollar value scholarships. You have to apply for every dollar, big or small. So a $250 scholarship that some families or some students may say it's not worth my time to write that essay or create that minute or 2 minute video. A $250 scholarship can cover books, supplies, or fees. Every dollar matters when you are avoiding debt. The fourth tip is to get organized. Create a spreadsheet that tracks the scholarship name, the deadline, the links to the scholarship, the contact person, and the submission status. You have to stay organized in order to keep track of the scholarships that you've applied for and to determine when you should expect notification of whether or not you were granted the scholarship or not. And typically, organizations um, that offer scholarships year to year will have the same open and close date every single year. So it's important if you're keeping track of the scholarships, then you'll be able to see what scholarship is going to open up this month, what scholarship is going to open up in next month, and then when is the due date. The next tip or strategy is very, very important. I can't stress it enough. It's the final tip. You got to make this a family mission. Students complete the applications, parents support the strategy and the structure. That's the only way this works. The only way that this works. It is a collective effort because you, as the parent, you want to make sure that your child does not incur a substantial amount of debt. And besides, the student loan cap that is now in place, a student cannot finance their college education on student loans alone. So, if you want to make sure that your student does not have to take out the maximum amount of student loans, or you are not responsible or forced to take out the maximum cost of attendance for your student in Parent Plus loans, you have to get involved in the process. This, again, has to be a collective mission amongst the family. So, as we recognize National Scholarship Month, let this serve as your encouragement and your reminder. Dreams are within reach, resources exist, and with commitment, discipline, and the right support system, our children can earn college degrees without drowning in debt. Scholarships aren't financial awards, they are opportunity, freedom, and legacy. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I will say this, if this episode inspired you or offered helpful insight, please share it with a parent, student, educator, or anyone who needs this message. Make sure you subscribe, leave a review, and connect with me because together we are lighting the way for the next generation. So until next time, stay inspired, stay committed, and keep lighting it up and shining bright like a diamond. Thanks for joining me this week on Light It Up. Make sure you visit my website at www.lightituppodcast.com or www.aginahmuhammad.com. You can also find me on social media using the handle at LITE It Up Podcasts. If you like what you've heard, please be sure to hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, I'd appreciate a rating on iTunes, or you can simply tell a friend about the show. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday for a new episode. Until next time, light it up and shine bright like a diamond.